Hey everybody, and welcome to Big Smooth OTV. I have one of my friends that I've known for over 15 years, aka my brother. He likes to be known by Sociopath Batman. And today we're going to ask you guys, do you think One Piece is really trash? We're going to give you our take on it. Now, I know you can see him over here, what he has in his background. So he understands and he likes One Piece. But see, let me just give her a short little background story on this. He wasn't really too big into anime, you know. So he used to join our Xbox parties, just we used to talk for so long. I will be going on tangents about anime that, what I'm saying. He told me one day he just wanted to try it out. Now, I'm going to take a step back here because it's not my story to explain. It's your story to explain. So, hey, Socio, Path Batman, you have the floor.
So it didn't officially start with One Piece. I mean, Bleach was the one that kind of fully grabbed me into anime, but it was One Piece that I feel really grabbed my attention. I mean, I got into the idea of finally getting into a lot of the Shonen Jump ones. So I started with Dragon Ball,
Oh,
went to
yes,
Dragon
Dragon
Ball
Ball.
Z, and haven't finished Dragon Ball Z off yet because I got into One Piece. I wanted to try to expand my horizons, try to watch a little bit
Hold
of
on, hold on.
everything.
So let's clear this up real quick because I know there's some people who just heard what you just said. So are you saying you like One Piece better than Dragon Ball Z?
If you would have asked me that back in October of last year, I probably would have said One Piece what? But yeah, I'm definitely it's one of those things that I can definitely say I feel like One Piece is I enjoy it way better than Dragon Ball. And it's nothing against Dragon Ball. I still absolutely love Dragon Ball. I'm definitely going to want to finish off the series and continue into Super and even watch GT, which I know a lot of people don't like, but I'm willing to put the
Hey,
time into
hey,
it because
just
you
hey,
gotta
just
watch
to be a part of it, you got to immerse
it.
yourself into it. I understand it, man.
But
It wasn't nothing wrong with it. I just wanted to make sure
no,
everybody knew, what I'm saying, how you felt about One Piece right now. We can see in your background that you have a lot of wanted posters. To
well,
me, that's one of your favorite animes, but I don't. You would have to tell me. But
well, I mean, it didn't. And when I first turned on the show and listening to the song, I was thinking this is kind of weird. Like, and watching it, and but just watching the first episode, watching Luffy just be who he is. And the thing is, Luffy can kind of be a little bit of an asshole, but he's not meaning to be an asshole. It's just he is
so,
so straightforward. He is
so we have
straightforward.
innocent assholes. That's
Yeah,
what we got.
well, I feel like it's that he's innocent in a way that he is ignorant to the fact that he doesn't realize that what he says kind of comes off. The things that he does can get a lot of people in trouble.
So like
And
Goku,
yeah, pretty much. I
like
mean,
Goku. Okay.
pretty much, I think that's just a lot of the main protagonists. If they like to fight, there's going to be a problem. They're going to cause problems because they want to fight everybody. But
Mm.
Luffy was just more of a. It wasn't even so much of having to fight someone. It was the situation of basically trying to um, just the things he would say. I mean, he would basically. I mean, the very first episode, you're introduced, and he's talking to this one kid. I'm drawing a blank on his name. I keep
Mm.
Kobe. Yeah, uh,
Okay.
I always forget it. But yeah, Kobe, and Kobe gets uh, he's working with this one pirate lady, Alvia. I believe that's I always mispronounce her name, but basically the things that he says get the other people in trouble. I mean, within the next episode, I believe it was like they meet the Marines, and just simple things that Luffy says to the Marines can put Kobe and other people in trouble because he's not thinking about it. The thing about Luffy is that he's very honest, and so his honesty is where his things, he can get people into trouble
Hmm.
because what people might be in a situation of, oh, we better not let people know we're here. We let people know we're pirates. Better not let people know our what we're doing here, what our reasons for doing here. And Luffy's just like, lets everybody know. He's just like, hey, I'm here. I'm going to be king of the pirates, and I
So,
want everyone to
would
know.
you call Luffy a free spirit?
Oh yeah, definitely a free spirit. Yeah, I mean,
Okay. So we can be. I know you and I know me when we get into anime talks now. Since you are really into them, we can go on a tangent, on a tangent, and on top of a tangent. So for you, I want to ask you this one question here. That's right at the bottom of the screen, and whoever's watching, feel free to say something in the comment as well. What you think, is One Piece really trash?
absolutely not. No, I mean anyone that believes it is not putting enough time into it. And I mean, I'm not saying that you don't have to like the show, but it's definitely not trash. Like
So,
anyone,
all right, so we getting your answer, but is that a biased answer? Depending on your background right now with all the wanted posters, because we know you're advocate for One Piece.
well, yeah, I definitely do enjoy One Piece, but I do know that there are plenty of other animes out there that have the same type of effect that can go. It's just the way One Piece tells its story. I mean, I I'm not gonna say I'm a fully into the idea of pirates. I mean, I've always been more into the idea of westerns and stuff. But pirates were always something cool to me. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, the funny thing was what actually drew me to the idea of One Piece was that it's very similar, similar to an actual true story of a pirate. I believe it's, I want to say he's a French pirate. It was like Lafayette or something along the lines of that. Who actually, before he died, basically said, "I have my treasure. It's buried somewhere." Um, Set up a whole um, puzzle type of thing. I think it was like you had to solve all these different clues to try to find it. I believe some people have found some of his treasure, but I believe there is some of his treasure is still yet to be found. And it's also to be said, hey, uh, is it even there? Is he just, did he just do something to mess with people? So
Hmm.
one of the things I did like about One Piece was that it did remind me of that. It was that story of Goldie Roger having the One Piece and basically basically saying, hey, if you want it, you have to go and find it. But yeah, that it was kind of the
So,
idea of it. It was
as far
something that
as
I
your
knew about.
answer, for as far as your answer, you're saying it's not necessarily because you like pirates, but you heard a story that's similar to Goldie's Roger story, because
Yeah.
his go and find the One Piece as you stated. So I don't know if we could say you're too biased on it. I think you just probably found you an anime that you just really enjoy. And real quick in the comic section here, I see Bronze Ambitions. Looks like watched it a little. It's not trash, but a lot of filler episodes. So let's touch on that really quick. Now, I from many different sources, from the Facebook groups, from just anime forums and things like that, a lot of talk on One Piece is that One Piece doesn't have any filler episodes. Now, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say there's no anime to me personally that I personally seen, and I've seen over like if I had to give a real number, it's around 800 plus. There's not really one anime that I've watched that didn't have at least one filler. But my question is One Piece an anime that can actually be called an anime that has filler due to all the randomness of the different islands that they're going to and the different story arcs that they're going to along these islands, because it's supposed to give you a sense of adventure.
Yeah.
So I would like to know what you think about that.
Well, I feel like it can be said that any anime that has actual episodes, because I mean, if it's only got 12 episodes, they're not really going to bother to add filler. But if it's got a story to it, basically any anime is going to have the filler. Um, to me, I believe what it is that it's how you tell a story in your filler. If you're telling a story in your filler that is interesting enough, it wouldn't seem like it's filler if it plays through. And because they're all constantly on an adventure to find the Grand Line, because they're constantly moving forward. there's always that ability to that anything could be an adventure for them. Anything could be part of that trip to get there. So it's not for me. Like I know early on, it didn't feel like there were filler episodes. I know there were, but it didn't feel like it because the story that was being told was so good that it felt like it was part of the original story. Later on, as you get, into like Alabaster arc, I'm sure there were
Oh
some
man.
fillers inside there because there were episodes that just kind of did drool on, episodes that you could tell really had no point to the story.
Mm.
There were ones that were interesting enough. I know there was the one, I believe it was where they had the pirate that it was he had a special power. I remember they met a little girl, and she had the ability to talk to animal.
Okay.
And then there was the other guy who they kept having the running joke because he was the he got what type of power he had, but it was like
Okay.
Blade.
So are you talking about the Swan power? Because around the arc, you're talking about the who was it, Mister Three, the Swan and the Wax. But
Well,
really quickly, real quick, let's go ahead and read this comment from Brown's Ambitions. Kind of like Dragon Ball Z, one episode drags out for 4 episodes.
or
See,
one situation drags out for
Brown's
like
Ambition.
25 episodes.
So this is the second. Literally, you just said something about Dragon Ball Z. Use that comparison.
Yeah.
Brown's Ambitions comes in, and she uses the comparison, or she uses the comparison of Dragon Ball Z. You know, I want to know what it is about Dragon Ball Z that people like to use it as a buffer between different anime shows. Now we do know it's the grandfather of all anime, right? So we do know that, but I also would like to take a chance to answer the same question because is One Piece really trash? Now, to me personally, One Piece is not trash at all. I'm literally up to date on it.
You
Is it
got more
my
fun than I have.
yeah? Is it my favorite anime? It is not. Does it have like a lot of episodes? Yes, it does. Uh, as a lot of people know on here, one of my favorite anime for sure is Katsukiyo Hitman Reborn. There's going to be a lot of people who really dislike that because the first 20 episodes are really slow. But for me, that character building, even if it's just silly things, as soon as jumping up in the air, trying to hit the volleyball, but it misses and hits him in the groin, so he goes over like this and his eyes pops out of his head type things, and then it gets into a more serious arc. Now, I answered the question: is One Piece really trash? Now, I want to ask you: why do you think people think One Piece is really trash?
Well, I know one of the biggest things that people always want to throw out there is that it's too damn long, and I'm thinking, well, how is that a problem?
Uh,
I mean, I get it. If you want a small anime, you want something that's 12 to maybe 20 episodes long. You want a Cowboy Bebop that's got like less than 30. I mean,
yeah,
go ahead and watch those ones. But One Piece is it's one of those stories that, especially with Oda, he had an idea from the very get go where how he wanted it to end. So he's, I know he's recently said that he already is getting plans for it to near that spot possibly.
so like Game
So
of Thrones, then okay.
yeah, so but I definitely could say that I feel like One Piece probably holds on stronger. Yeah,
I
but
know a
Game of
lot of Game of
Thrones
Thrones
kind of like I'm sure the books were
Thrones
still
fans will
good,
be
but
upset
I haven't
about what
finished
you just
those.
said.
But yeah, the show is just kind of like it started good and then it just kind of dwindled down. It's like that horse picture that they always like to show where it starts out good and then it's just like a kindergartner that started going good.
Hey, let's withhold the bashing
Yeah.
of Game of Thrones. I know
But
some of us is upset by the ending, the last season, but in
but
particular, but
I have to say that with well, I know a lot of people like to use that it's too long, that it's goofy, that the premise of it, it's just it. But to me, I think honestly, it's the fact that all the different things too. I love the fact that it's not simply an idea of well, here's a bunch of pirates and stuff. It's here's a bunch of pirates. They've added in the abilities with from the gum gum fruits and stuff, or the devil fruits, but they didn't make it so like ridiculous. It wasn't like we gave them a bunch of magic powers and stuff. Like they do technically have magic powers, but it's within reason. And then they say like, well, yeah, everyone that has it
Within
can
reason.
perform
Within reason.
within
We're
reason.
gonna go on that limb and say
Well,
within reason. All right,
well, I
really
mean,
quickly. DC
that's
keeps it 100. What's up, man? Hope you enjoying the show. We're talking about One Piece, and we want to know if One Piece is really trash. Let me go ahead and get this next coming out the way. No Game of Thrones was great. Yeah. I'm not going to address that. I enjoyed it. I'll just say that. But there were some things that were better than others. But you're saying people think One Piece, isn't really great. It's trash due to the fact that it's too long. And I'm pretty sure they have their reasons. I think you and me can agree on that there's no reason to hate something because it's long. Like literally, for me personally, like this is me personally just speaking on the matter, the issue at hand. I would love to have something that continues for the longest of time. I literally hate like with the double like bolded letters of H in the hate when one of my favorite shows end.
well, I hate the
And
series finales. They're the worst thing possible.
like if I have to go to real TV shows, maybe some of you guys can relate. We have the originals. We have Game of Thrones. You saw that ended. We have Supernatural. We have a lot of things. Some people would even say The Walking Dead, but see, I haven't been on that for a while. Let's keep it on One Piece though. But I have so many different anime that ended, and I wish they could have stretched it out a lot more. So me personally, I would have took the fan service. You didn't have to make another big bad. You didn't have to, do anything extra. Just show me my character going through their daily lives, and I'm cool. And that's why I like Naruto to making Boruto. You know what? That's gonna be another topic that we cover.
Yeah, I've
The,
only gotten so far into Naruto, but I've also heard that Naruto is bullshit and it's just garbage, and that
hey, look, all I'm gonna say is I gave it 100 and something episodes. It wasn't my cup of tea, so I moved on. You see, like a lot of people would only give it 2 episodes. I gave it 100 and something. You feel me? So, with that being said, I feel like I gave it an actual try to watch it and see if I like it. Now, what are two main reasons you feel is the reason that you think One Piece isn't trash?
well, for me, I feel it has a great story. I mean, it's just
Gotta have that.
from it doesn't even when it's slow, it's still I said I feel like the story's still good. Like I said, like in the beginning, I couldn't tell where the fillers were because I said it was just a constant adventure. The other thing is that it's the characters. It's the way the characters you're introduced to them, or the way that, they come up with these characters.
Mhm.
Luffy, he is, he's your protagonist, but he's the hero. He's goofy at the same time, though. It's like he can be
Wait,
a total.
would you really call Luffy a hero?
I feel like he could be a hero when it really comes down to it. He can be a hero
I'd
because
give
he.
him vigilante, but hero, like because all right, so the difference between the hero to me is, let's say for example, we'll use Superman as a reference. I'm for justice, peace, and everything. Like it's just outward, but I feel like Luffy is just on whatever, like whatever I'm thinking at the moment. That's what we're doing. Like everybody's like, Luffy,
He
don't
does
do it.
have those moments where he can be like very one have a very one thought mind and just be, hey, I want to, this is what I want to do and this is all I'm focused on. I do feel like there are moments where he I think it's why the reason why I consider him sort of a hero is that he's a hero in the state that he doesn't look for the recognition to be like in the way that Nami. Oh well, if we do good, I want to get paid for it. Luffy just wants to do do
Hey
because he
man,
wants
come
to.
on, man. Don't talk about Nami like that. You know the reason Nami was doing what
Well,
she was doing, man. You
well,
know.
even after the though, like even after that arc, I
It
mean, it
became
was
part of her
still.
personality, man. Nami Swan, we out here with you, man. But my bad, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
But
Go
no,
ahead.
I mean, but it was just like the fact that it's not about the recognition so much for him of doing the good. It's just to do it. He's just simply does it because he knows it's better. Like when he sees these pirates that are basically have no allegiance to their men, that sacrifice their men. Luffy gets pissed off about that because he's got the heart for his crew. He's like, this is my crew. I respect them. I wouldn't treat them like trash. So into that, I said he doesn't have the same mentality that a lot of other people is, where he wants that recognition of being, being known as, oh yeah, thank you for your help. It's just Luffy wants some meat, and
Hey,
and
simple
he wants
man.
to fight. Like if you can give him give him some meat and allow him to fight, he's pretty much good. Like he doesn't need a whole bunch to be happy. And so I like as I said, Luffy's a great character. I think it's yeah, Roro Zora, or if you that's the thing. They call him
I just go on Electrojet.
Zoro inside of the books, but then they call him Zoro, and I think Zoro sounds better to me. Maybe it's just because of the idea of he's the swordsman, and we're used to Zoro the swordsman, from the old TV shows and whatnot.
When
So
he writes
maybe
the Z on their chest, yeah.
yeah, just maybe the name just it sounds better because Zolo just sounds like he's trying to make uh like a sort of a fake version of Zoro and stuff and like making a sort of a joke at it. But the thing is, Zoro is the only real joke about Zoro is that he tends to he doesn't have any real sense of direction. So
Direction.
he constantly gets lost. So that is the one. But his character, like I said, it's just the way the characters are put together. His character, the three sword style, that was badass. I when he put the sword in his mouth and started fighting, I was like, what the heck? Like
Never seen
that's
it before,
cool.
right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's just great story writing and just the way the characters are put together. Those are two reasons to me. Like if you have great characters, a great story, and you put those two things together, you really can't go wrong.
All right, so we have a comment from Brown Man, Brown's Ambition. He may not be a hero, but he has a code. I'm thinking
Yeah,
she was saying that from on your thoughts that Zoro has a code, that Luffy has a code. Trying hard to get well, and you, how you been? Electrojet, I've been making it, man. Hoping you get better. Hope we can send some positive vibes over there to you, man. Uh, Now let's see here. You said the story is a really good story so far that you've been watching. What episode are you on again?
I believe it's 185, 86. I just know that the last episode, I believe I was on, Luffy had with he had
No
just.
spoilers, spoilers, no
Oh yeah, no.
spoilers. Just
I was
all right. So
okay.
let's go. Let's go like
Luffy
this.
was on the
What
way to
arc are
fight
you on?
someone.
Yeah,
Luffy is
that's
was
every
on the way to
arc.
fight someone. That is the best way I could put it. Yeah.
All right. So what arc are you currently on? Is what I should ask.
The Skypiea arc.
Scott. Oh man,
Yeah.
that Scott PR hurt my heart still to this day, man. But so let me go ahead and answer the same question that I asked you. What did I think about One Piece that makes it not trash to me personally? Of course, the story. I don't want to just random stuff happening, and we're like, oh god, what are we watching? The story's great. The character development to me is superb. The
Yeah.
character development speaks volumes for this particular anime because this is for an example. We know, or some of the people who are like up there know that Zoro is as strong as Luffy. And if Zoro ever wanted to rebel, it would be crazy. Now, thinking, you see what I'm saying? Thinking of that, right? The situation that happened with Usopp.
Hmm.
Oh man, that's another field, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But what I'm saying is, I understand why, you know, One Piece to me isn't trash. The character development, the story, just the characters they create, as you said. Like I went to an arc from where that was a character made of wax. You know, there was a character that was in a swan with the protective gear for swimming and literally spinning around. Like you
That's
have
really
so many
good.
different characters on there. But I want to ask these people in the comments right now. So far, I see DC, Bruns, Electrojet. I want to know if you guys, if y'all ever seen it, think One Piece is trash. And let me go ahead and get to these comments really quick. Bronze Ambition says, "Hey Electrojet, I hope you get better soon!" Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Yeah, that's some serious to get well. Electrojet says, "Thanks, Bronze. That's what I like, man. Family oriented content in here, baby." And what are you're welcome. Okay. And we'll give it a little chances for more comments to come in to answer the question if they like think One Piece is trash. Okay. Now, if you listed One Piece so high, and clearly, again, I'm gonna have to say something about your background again. You see me with the little visor hat, trying to have the straw hat. What other anime comes close to One Piece?
The only other anime I've put as much time into would either be Dragon Ball Z or Bleach. Um, I have to say I enjoyed the way Dragon Ball Z, the way the story's been going so far. I'm Majin Buu Saga, so I'm near the end.
Okay, okay.
Everything's been good. There are moments. They have the filler. Dragon Ball Z is the one thing I can say about Dragon Ball Z is I'm very glad that I got into it later in the game because watching some of those filler episodes, having to go through those filler episodes at the rate that they were coming out would have driven me crazy and stuff because I'm pretty sure I probably would have been like, oh my god, like when is this gonna get interesting again? Because there were some of those filler episodes that were like they were noticeable filler episodes. Um, to me, I have to say, um, probably Dragon Ball Z or Bleach would be up there as my next best one, just because those are the two ones that I've invested the most amount of time in. That have been really have definitely kept my interest. It was just one thing or another. Using my work schedule was what kept me from finishing off Bleach, earlier on. So I have to definitely get back into that one. But that was a good story, and I know that one a lot of people have like to trash on too. So
I mean, look, there's different anime fans over here, different anime fans over there. Everyone feels different, and the great thing about anime in general that I like is everyone can have their favorite, anime. Now, however, to this question that's written across the screen that everybody's reading as they come in here, is One Piece really trash? I haven't really, to myself or to my knowledge, seen a legit argument. Now, with that being said, I want to also take a step back and say we can consider I've watched 7 episodes, I wasn't into it, and you know, I didn't like it, so it's trash. We can consider that. But the one reason why I wouldn't take it serious, man, is because I feel just like tipping, you should at least tip 10%. Now, before a lot of people flame me because of what I said, not One Piece is over 900 plus episodes. 10% of that is around 90 something episodes. So I'm literally saying give it at least 90 something episodes because it's a bigger anime that builds up. But as anime evolved, because Dragon Ball Z was one of the ones that we got first. You see what I'm saying? So the way they were progressing the story had to drag on because they were trying to get the episodes out to us through Toonami. That's when I first saw it when I was younger. You know, uh, Dragon Ball Z was one of my favorites, man. If you just the people who know my channel, you see me cosplaying as Goku sometime, big Goku, but you see me cosplaying as Goku, and we just have our own fan series and stuff like that. Uh, The thing is, everyone's gonna have their favorite anime. Now, if you dislike an anime, that is cool. Again, we're gonna say it here first. You know this from me because we talk about this. My Hero Academia is not one of my favorite anime. I watched it and I'm continuously watching it, but when it comes down to just saying, "Hey, that's a really great anime," to me personally, I can't say that. It's just it's the concepts on it and stuff like that. But when I compare One Piece to some of the newer anime, to some of the older anime, I feel like it's a blend of like majority of the anime that I consumed over my years. And this is why I can't really say what I'm gonna say it definitely, without a doubt, One Piece is not trash to me. If you have an argument that it's is, I would love to hear or to see you comment about it. Now we have Brown's Ambitions. I saw did the comment earlier. Nope, not trash in my opinion. Understand? Welcome to the One Piece squad. You know, Electrojet. To be truthful, I haven't seen, but I can give it a chance. Okay, see, that's open mindedness. Nowadays, the people will look at One Piece. How many episodes? It's way too long.
Well, man,
Oh,
heck, I mean, that's being open-minded was the whole reason why I got into One Piece in the first place. Because, I mean, at the time, I was strictly just watching Dragon Ball Z, trying to, finish off that, and it was just simply me saying, hey, there's plenty of other animes. I've been enjoying Dragon Ball Z. I want to be able to see, while I'm, take a little bit of a break from there and try to find some other ones. And so I just expanded upon. I started, One Piece wasn't even, I believe, one of the first ones I started with. It was I added Cowboy Bebop. I was watching Hunter
mm,
x Hunter. I was watching Yu Yu Hakusho.
you just said a goat name, Yu Yu Hakusho. That, oh yeah,
Even My Hero Academia, One Punch Man. It was, and then I knew that One Piece. I was aware of what One Piece was, at least with the extent of Luffy, and that supposedly he was a rubber man, and that it was about pirates. But that was pretty much the extent of what I knew about that.
I
So
don't, I don't think you understand what you said. Was how funny it could be. You said Luffy was a rubber man, and like if taken out of context,
yeah,
you feel me? You understand where that could go. That
yeah.
was funny, yeah, but yeah,
But
I'm
it was, it was this, I knew basically little bits and pieces, but I didn't know hardly anything else past that. So when I went into One Piece, I went into One Piece with almost no real knowledge of it. And one of the things that I do enjoy with something is when you can add humor, because I love having humor in the mix of things. So you can have I love a good fight scene. I love, when things get really intense. But there's got to be, if you can make me laugh, and it doesn't have to be, I don't have to be side splitting laughter. It can be the simple stuff. And that was what was great about the first episode of One Piece was that there were simple things that that were said, simple situations that to me I just thought was humorous, and maybe I know that maybe there were a little bit childlike moments in there that maybe that's why it was kind of funny to me, but it made me laugh, and then you had the really cool fight scenes inside there. So I feel like if you're going into it with an open mind, if you're a person that likes the idea of that there's going to be fighting in there. Um,
mm,
the fact that it can get a little bit off the wall sometimes, but it can also get really intense, and the characters when when everything is fully going down, like that you're invested into what's happening to there, and so if Bluey's fighting someone and he takes off that hat, it's about to go down, and that this fight is very serious because he's this isn't something like he's joking around about anymore. This is something like, hey, you're in my way. you're in the way of of me and my crew, and now your ass is grass. Like we're not playing around anymore. Now I'm gonna beat you, and then we're gonna walk out and walk away while the explosion is in the background. Type
See, this is this is what I do enjoy by anime. They give you a character and they give you the character quirks, not to be confused with quirks on My Hero Academia. I'm not talking about that one, I promise you. But the quirks that the characters have, because you feel like you know these characters. That's also how you know you're watching a good anime, because you feel like you know and understand these characters as they develop over time. You know every situation they're in. You know dang near everything about this person. You can pick up on when they're really serious and when they're about to go ham, when you're about to get those epic moments in anime that people do the top 10 lists on and things of similar to that nature. uh the hat thing that you said, you picked up on one of Luffy's quirks. Now I personally, with my family, we made a video about that, where someone was just crying on the ground and Luffy saw him crying. It was kind of a joke towards Luffy in the first place, because just how his character is. He sees someone's crying, he just automatically jumps and just start fighting anybody that he doesn't know who it is. You feel me? So we thought about doing that and making that, because we wanted to see if everyone else picked up on that. You understand what I'm saying? So the way the video goes, I could play it, but it'll be if you guys want to, see it. Yeah, I don't know if you mind, but
I've seen it and it's funny. I've enjoyed it.
but all right. So if you've seen it, correct?
Yeah.
So tell me this: if you've seen it, did it make you feel like the character was Luffy?
Yeah. When I watched, as I'm watching, and I saw the moment the hat, you know, hit the person's head, and it was off your head and onto someone else's head. I was like, oh shit, it's about to go down.
Yeah,
Like
because
I felt I was in that moment. It was like I was watching the anime. I knew something was. Well, I knew it was gonna get intense. Whether it was a silly situation or an intense situation, you knew shit was gonna go down, and I was, I was with it.
yeah. All right, so we got Electric Jad in the chat. Hold on, we kind of got behind. All right. So I think the last thing comment was I'm all about Attack on Titan from Electrojet.
I've seen a bit of that. It's
I've seen. I'm up to date on Attack on Titan. It is a pretty good
I'm
anime.
in like the first season. I'm way behind. I liked it. It was really good. I thought it was a great one. I think for me, I think it was the first one I watched. That was kind of like graphic, because Bleach had like the blood and stuff in it, but Attack on Titan, the first time I watched Attack on Titan, that first episode or two, and people are like getting ripped apart and all that stuff, I was like, oh,
Oh.
this is going to be a good one. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely, I could definitely say, when it comes to anime, if you give me a bit of gore, I'm gonna be down for it. Like I like horror movies, and gore is always good to see. So if you can go into anime, you're probably gonna, I'm probably gonna check into it.
Yeah, all right, I understand that for sure. But Electrojet just wrote, "Show it." You really want to see it? It's not the best quality, but you know what? I kind of like my own content, so I'll go ahead and show it. Let's see here. Need to maneuver through some of this. Share my screen. All right. Share the system audio as well. All right. So, can you guys see it? Gary, can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Luffy, we don't know the situation.
I don't care.
We can't let her in. She blew up 12 islands and drop kicked 6 pregnant ladies, and I poked a baby.
Gamu Gamu no! Peace out! What is going on in this holy place? And why is Raphael's out like a light with no batteries? You heard. Manakama!
Luffy, don't.
This puny rubber man. How dare you go against the Almighty?
All right, hopefully you guys could see that. Like I said, could you see that, Jerry?
Yeah, I didn't see the first time I watched it. I didn't realize that Luffy was fighting Enru. Enru was like trying to play some b-ball now.
Exactly. So, like, I did it quickly. I could have did a little bit more editing on it, but I decided to just roll with what we had because sometimes you can have a masterpiece and you go back in it and mess with it, you can mess it up. So those type of quirks that we were talking about, I feel One Piece has the most characters with quirks in the anime, like just in all anime. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, for someone to call One Piece trash, that's someone that's probably feeling they don't have the time. I don't want to blame them for, saying they have issues with the show because sometimes you don't want to use your energy and invest into a show. But to call it trash because you don't want to do that, that's the difference. That's the topic that I really want to like stretch on or like talk about. I want to know from your point of view when it's okay for someone to say an anime is, let's with the capital T, trash.
I feel the best time for someone to call something trash. I feel like I think because everyone has their own like perspective of what they think is good. I know that you are you're not a big fan of My Hero Academia. You feel like the story isn't there. You feel like it's went off, and I know a lot of people have said that.
For me, it's the barriers of My Hero Academia. Yeah. Someone needs help them. Don't I need my license or I have to go to help them. Yeah. Even if you're not properly trained, please do something to try to help them. Yeah. Really quick, Naruto, One Piece is fire. Not for everyone, but fire. See, I can respect this. This is coming from a respectable individual. You could have got on here and said One Piece is fire. Everybody else is just trash themselves, But literally came on here and said it's not for everyone, but it's fire. I appreciate that comment. I'm sorry for cutting you off, Jerry. Didn't mean any harm by it, but yeah, I'm listening to what you have to say.
Yeah, I feel like I've enjoyed My Hero Academia, and for me, the reason why I've enjoyed My Hero Academia was because of the scenes where Midoriya, where if you already know the premise of it, like he in order to use his power, he has to destroy his body basically. So when there's those scenes where he gets intense and he's doing stuff and that he's gonna freaking destroy his body, I love that because it's like that there's repercussions for what he's going to for what he's doing. So I love that. It draws me in. Now I know that a lot of people aren't a big fan of My Hero Academia because of I've heard a lot of people trash on My Hero Academia. So I know it's not for everyone. So to say like what is the right thing for someone to call something trash, I feel like for one there has to be a greater collective opinion that says that they all agree upon this. If you have 80% of people who are watching that thing and they're all saying this is boring, I don't like it, it's trash, then you could probably already say that.
Is that true though? Because I mean, like for real, just take it for an instance, really quick. Like it's cool to hate One Piece right now. It's cool to hate Dragon Ball Z. It's cool to hate Naruto. It's cool to hate Bleach. But Boruto is supposed to be good to some people. You get me?
Like, I mean, I know a lot of I know a lot of people don't like The Walking Dead or Arrow, and
Yes,
so I might be that 20% that says, "Oh yeah, Arrow is good. I've enjoyed Arrow from start to finish." And a lot of people are like, "Well, Arrow sucked after season 4 or whatever, and hasn't gotten good." And I've heard a lot of collective. So maybe, so I guess that wouldn't be the best thing to say because I am part of that 20%
mm,
that does still believe that, hey, this is good. So that's the thing. I just feel like to really say something is trash is just very hard to, because if you're not investing the time into something, to simply say it's trash is just you're closing off your mind to something. You don't have to like something, but to
mm.
completely say it's trash is just you're completely shutting your mind down to anything. And I
And
know
that's what I
people,
dislike about it,
yeah,
by the way.
I
That's
know people
what
who are
most
like
people are
that.
about One Piece. They hear their friends say something about One Piece, and then they'll say, "I'm not watching that. It's trash." Now, maybe they just believe their friend on anime. They have some of the similar taste, but at the same time, please give it a try before that. Let me get to this comment by Electro Jed. I can give you an example of my type of thinking. I love Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is goated, but I can't stand Castlevania. Now, on the opposite side of that, I know a lot of people who are saying Castlevania on Netflix is one of the best anime that they've watched.
Yeah,
But
I've heard some people
here,
say it's really good.
you have Jed's opinion here that he can't stand Castlevania. It's something in it that he doesn't, you know what I'm saying, want or can't just agree with. And there's anime like that for sure, you know?
Well,
So,
I know there
but
are animes that I haven't even fully officially watched that I've heard, the premise of it, that hey, this is what the story is about. And the problem is that like I've heard it and said, well, I already know I'm not gonna like this because it's not my cup of tea. If like I said, for me, I like animes that do have a little bit of fighting. If it's got gore, it doesn't have to be all about fighting. I like things that kind of remind me of TV shows. So if you can create a story that's going to invest into me, I'm usually pretty good. But I know there are certain animes that are a little bit more like love stories that are literally about someone, and I'm not into like lovey-dovey stories. Don't get me wrong, I love the idea of falling in love, but I'm not interested in watching an anime about two people falling in love.
y'all hear what he's saying? I'm gonna
But
try to get him
at,
to watch
at the
one of
same
them.
time,
I'm gonna try to get him to watch one of
at the same time, I won't say that they're trash because that's just not they're not my cup of tea. They might be something that would be willing to watch because it's not something, because I know for me, that the premise of it is not going to be something that's interesting to me. I know that
which one have you watched?
see, that's the thing. I haven't watched any of them.
Exactly.
I've
Exactly.
only
We're gonna get them.
heard
Hey,
people
if you
talk
guys
about
aren't
the
here,
one.
we're gonna get them. We're gonna get them to watch one. I want to know which one y'all think we should get them watch.
The one that
Toradora.
I'm gonna tell you, there is one that that someone did say was supposed to be pretty good. I think it's called Your Name, or I think it's Your
Uh,
Name.
that's the one I was telling you about, man.
I
Where
heard that
I
one is
had
really
to.
good.
I look, bro. I have to. I gotta hold on. It's emotion. I gotta put up the emotional barrier, man. Your Name was fantastic to me.
Yeah,
Now,
it's on my list.
it's a love story without being a love story.
Yeah.
Let me just set up the general premise of it really quick. This anime movie, because it's a movie,
Yeah.
in two different part of the worlds, a guy and a girl swap consciousness. So with that being said, she got to live as the guy, and the guy got to live as the girl. Now, that's not the main thing on it. The main thing on it is time. Time. One of them's in the past, one's in the future. And I don't want to say nothing more than that because anything past that part can
Yeah.
be considered a spoiler. You understand? But that is a good one to start on. If you want to start on something that's a movie like, that's really good, that just flows and you can get into it, when your emotions don't get into it, you see, a little tear coming down, man. But I like that. So let's see what Electric Jet had to say on here. I would check it out this weekend as long as I'm home and not in the hospital. Hey, Jet, I understand. It's cool that you want to watch it, man, but I need you to get better, okay? Now, for the same question that I asked you, how can someone say something is trash? Right? Did you ever finish saying what you thought on that?
Pretty much. I mean, I said I don't feel like there's a real logical reason to call something trash. I just think that you can be, you can say you don't like something, but to completely close off and say and call something, say, hey, that is trash. It's just like you're completely being closed minded to it, and because there's always going to be someone that enjoys it. I know. Recently, I heard someone say that it was um, Ergon Proxy or something like that was a really good anime, or Ergo Proxy, or I forgot what it's called, but it's something along the lines of that. Someone said it was a really good anime, and then a bunch of people watched it and said it was so boring, and they could not understand how anyone would consider this. Like but they said, "Hey, we apologize that we didn't like your anime. You're a great person. We just don't like your taste." And I mean,
Oh man, that's
and
clever.
and it sucks because like there are animes out there like that even I love the one that you had actually made me watch only 12 episodes but really good,
Another?
another.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
knew he was about to say another.
And the thing is that that is one of those ones that you have to put the time into, because if you make the mistake like these people that had listened to made the mistake of watching only the first 3 episodes, you're not going to get the full effect of that show, because it's only got 12 episodes. They have a lot of build up to try, and they fill in little things as you watch them. And if you would have watched, episode one, episode maybe 5 or 6, and then near the end, just to fill it out, they
Hmm.
would have got a way better feeling, because the first few episodes are a little bit slower. So to say, for someone just to watch a couple episodes and judge something on it, it's really hard to like. And even me, I trying to watch any TV show, even if the first episode just isn't really grabbing me, I try to watch, an episode or two more, because, sometimes first episodes just don't fully, hit the mark entirely. Sometimes, there it gives you just enough to say, hey, I'm willing to give this another shot. Like I probably wouldn't have given the show Grimm another shot had I not decided to try to watch a few
Oh
episodes,
man, that's my show,
I
bro.
did because I didn't like Grimm in the very beginning, because the first episode or two, like I didn't like the main character. He was kind of boring to me. It wasn't until you
Nick
get to
Burkhart,
yeah, it wasn't until you get to meet, the sidekick
Monroe,
character, when you
Monroe.
get to meet the best friend, that that things got better. But yeah, I mean, you just have to. I feel like you have to be able to invest a little bit of time into something before you can completely close your mind off to something.
See, I agree with you 100% on that. Let me tell you what I think. This is not facts. This is what I think happened. So, around the time that Attack on Titan came out, anime began to change. It began to not build up. It began to the first episode of Attack on Titan. You remember what happened to Aaron's mom, and just the pure pandemonium, and just you just stuck like, I never seen nothing like this. I need to watch it more. So you have people who started with shows like that. So I made a skit today, actually, earlier, like showcasing this how friends get into anime. And like you warn your friend, hey, don't read, don't watch these hard ones at the bottom. See, to me, that idea was funny. I don't know how the viewers, and some of the people close to me to feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I could play it right now if you guys want to watch it, but I feel like it's gonna lock in my thoughts on this, because shows like Attack on Titan, ReZero, Tokyo Revengers, Akame got Kill. A lot of these fast starting enemies change the mindset of certain individuals. Even Demon Slayer, because on the first episode of Demon Slayer, there a lot of death, a lot of blood. and a lot of overwhelming thought. And some of these anime that I listed, right, are some of the ones that a higher percentage of people are liking.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
won't
because,
lie.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure with my ADD, the flashes, the bright flashes, like I said, the gore, that's going to draw. The intensity is going to draw me in. So I totally
mhm.
understand the effect of that.
And see, because anime did that shift on the other end animes are like, you need to watch like 5 or 6 episodes before you actually know what's going on and before something crazy like that happens. You know, so to my mindset, for a lot of the skits that I made, some went did good, some flopped. Most of my skits are from that mindset. Because of that. Like for the one that was like old anime versus new anime. You see how the guy was out there working out, actually training. You see the training arcs, and then on the other side of that, you have when the girl goes and picks up the sword and just says, "I feel my power welling up," and she was actually stronger than the person that was actually training. That was kind of the back and forth that I see between those. Not that the newer ones are bad. I mess with a lot of them, but I'm not going to go and say Demon Slayer is the best anime in the world. It looks like Electrojet wrote a comment here. Okay, here's where I have issues with some anime. I am one that wants it to get straight to the point. See,
I don't blame him. I mean,
you see,
it is one of those things like when you are watching something, you want to be stimulated by it. So it's like if it's kind of slow and if it's dragging out, it is kind of
like
hard
The
to be
Walking
able to
Dead.
want to listen to it. Yeah,
Like,
first first season of The Walking Dead is slow. Second, for the first half of the second season, so
so
slow.
it
But then
stays
it
to the
then it,
whole.
then it picks up.
It
So
don't pick up. They have phases, man. Look, for me, The Walking Dead has phases. It has.
yeah,
We're gonna
definitely.
give you amped up on this one, but then we're gonna slow it down in the middle, and then towards the end, we're gonna speed it up. So now you feel like this whole season was magnifique, So what to them, they kind of mastered that. You see, Electric Jet just wrote another thing. He said he's basically to the point that I was making.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan had shock value and kept you there. But that's exactly what I'm saying. But see, me personally, I like to get to know everyone and the story, and that's probably the same reason of what he said there. It could be the same reason that some people try who. So they got two barriers for One Piece. I feel, man, this has a lot of episodes to it. I don't know if I should invest my time in it. And then it's okay. I'm finally watching one episode of One Piece. These are little fodder dudes fighting. Why is it moving so slowly? You feel me? So because One Piece has two barriers to some of the people in the way some people think, I think it's harder for them to get into it, and that's why they'll be like, "Tried it, trash," without even really trying it. In our definition, but again, to me, I like the slow building aspect of anatomy. It's not super slow. I like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But see, Katekyo Hitman Reborn, it hit me different with the pacing of it because it gets so great towards the end. It's kind of like how The Walking Dead did it and can get you hyped at first and then slow it down and then get you hyped throughout to the end of it. You're like, whoa, it's the future. Whole new power levels, whole new things. Some of them, their parents and stuff were assassinated. What? How does someone in the past comes to terms with their family dying when they go to the future? You see what I'm saying? It's like a whole different scope of it, of things for Reborn. And this is the reason why I like it because it makes me think. Now, to get to that point, I love anime that makes me think. You know what I'm saying? So the drawn out part of it are most of the animes that make me think. Like I told you to check out this one, Roka, when you got the chance, right?
I believe I've heard. Well, I know you told me about that one, and I want to say someone else had mentioned it too. So I know that's gonna have to be on my list of things to watch.
It's one of those intellectual ones, but it does have the action that you're going to be looking for too, though. Like there's going to be a lot. At first, you're gonna, who's this character? Okay, he ends up in jail. Okay, she lets him loose. Okay, and then you move on, but then that's when all the amazing stuff started happening. And different from most of the other anime, here's a protagonist that actually, if a girl likes him, he likes her back. He goes after her, because a lot of these anime, a lot of people don't get together. So, for an example, we all know Sanji likes Nami or Nico Robin, either one. Ask her out already.
Sanji likes everybody. If she's got boobs and is somewhat attractive, Sanji wants them.
So the thing, see,
Vivi,
his character is so complex though, to the point of he's a gentleman, like
I
through
do
and through.
enjoy Sanji though.
he,
Sanji is he's I enjoy it. The only thing that Sanji bugs me about is that he does get a little bit too love struck, and when he gets a little bit too over it with Nami and stuff. It's just like he gets so I just love the way she tells me what to do. It gets a little bit
Nami
annoying at times.
Swan.
Yeah, it gets a little bit annoying. It's like that one little thing about that Sanji just that allows me to realize that he is a human being. Because if he
Mhm.
was just too perfect, I think it would be hard to find anything. But because he has got that, it makes him a human being. It makes him
Man, listen,
realistic.
bro. Sanji is so complex. The fact that he is just this little thing alone, he's a gentleman, but yet he's also still, you know what I mean, sort of a pervert.
Oh yeah.
Like, so you're a gentleman, but you're part. That's just those are complex layers you have there. Let me go ahead and read this comment from Electrojet. I've been watching the What If series, and for the most part, been very happy. But there are some points where I am like, "What the f? Get back to the story."
Well, I definitely can say that the one good thing about Sanji is yes, he is a perv, but he's not a perv in the way that a lot of like to that extent of pervy that they like to do in animes. Like he's not a Master Roshi.
Yeah.
Master Roshi's a whole nother level of
Oh no,
perv.
no, 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 I see. Look. I ain't gonna say that yet because you didn't get to that arc yet. You feel me? Uh, so let me just say this: Sanji gets trapped on the island where there's no women. So when he comes back, he develops a condition that when he sees a woman, it's just instant nosebleeds, and literally he almost bleeds out like death because of it. All right, Jed says, I'm going to have to watch this anime for sure because you guys have a lot to say. Man, Jed, you know I love anime. Smooth, you have to link me this anime. This anime can be found on Crunchyroll where you can watch for free for sure. Uh, man, I was just thinking about the Sanji thing. Uh, that's so for me to say. Let me get back to that. For me to say this One Piece is trash or any anime in general is trash, this is the first thing they have to do. They have to pull a what the f moment for me. Like the first episode in, you're showing me, oh, this guy's the main character. Okay. The second episode, you're sending me to a whole nother character with a whole nother background. See, some people like those because they feel that's character building. But see, I want to know how this character reacts to this character, on the other side. That to me is building characters because now they're going together. Now, there's this anime called Talentless Nanakon. Now, I didn't know who the main character was on that show for the longest. But if I literally read the title of the anime, I would have known who the main character was. So it shows us this guy. He has powers to he has some type of power, right? And as you're watching, you're like, okay, let's see what's going to happen on this one. But he ends up dying. Nah, you got hit. Nah, he ends up dying. What? And now it just moves on without seeing him or showing him. But now somebody's investigating his death. But at this time, while I was watching it, I didn't understand. Like, huh? It just threw me for a loop. Now, eventually, I go all the way to the right, to the left. Yeah, Crunchyroll, it has One Piece on there, Jet. Go to the left to the right, and I was like, oh, it says Talentless Nana. So she's the main character. I don't want to tell the premise of the show because I want somebody to be confused as me. So they, in the end, they can enjoy it. But what I'm saying is, if you have too many what the f moments in the anime, that's not a good what the F, like power up. Say for an example, if One Piece, right? We saw Luffy, we saw his backstory with Shanks. You know what I'm saying? We saw when Shanks lost his arm to that sea beast, and
I
you
was
know,
like, oh shoot, like
and you can see why Luffy himself adopted Shanks. You know what I'm saying? Demeanor, basically. Now, let's say if we knew Luffy was the main character, and we watched like 4 more episodes, and it's just doing the story of Luffy, he getting his crew together, and right when they're about to set sail, let's go back to Shanks, and you start watching Shank on aboard the ships of the people. You know, it's like what the F moments. We came here, you gave us Luffy. Now you're trying to introduce us to someone that's on a whole different arc.
well, and then another great thing about One Piece is that because of the way it's set up, it is you don't get every character right in the beginning. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I just saw a notification like maybe less than a couple months ago about how Luffy just got his like 10th member to his crew and stuff. And I mean, and they're like over nearly what 1,000 episodes in, and he just
Yeah.
now got his 10th. To that thing of like they're still they're still they're nearing where like I said, Oda has his idea of where he wants to end, but there's still points where he's still adding people to his crew. They're still building on these characters and building on on the story. So it's like one of those ones that you're not you want to be invested into this. You want to watch this and see where this goes, because it's like first you get Luffy, and then shortly on then you get Zoro, and then you kind of pick up the first few people like in the beginning. Well, I'd say within the first 50 episodes you probably have the first 5 people, and then after that it's a slow burn of picking up characters. But
Mm-hmm.
as you pick up the you're getting great stories because you're getting a
And you're
little bit
meeting characters that are
yeah,
not necessarily in his crew,
yeah.
that are memorable characters that I will tell you, you will see later. Like most of everyone that he meets, from all the episodes that you watched up to Skypiea, he's going to meet later down the road. That Blackbeard character that you saw before
No, I
Skypiea,
know,
he's
dude.
gonna
Oh
be
man,
he's
that
gonna
that
be
was a that's a that was a what the that was a WTF moment right there. Because when I'm sitting there watching that, and Luffy's having that little argument with this guy in the bar and everything, and they're arguing about, oh, I like this, I don't like this, well, I like this, but I don't like this, and then then he sits out there and he's the one guy. He's like, oh, don't don't wait, don't give up on your dream. Like those guys are ignorant. Like we're, dreams are what And he's talking, and then you find out that it's freaking who it is, and I'm like, dude, I didn't see that coming, and I was like,
exactly.
that was a good moment. I was like, damn, that was good. I didn't see that, and I was like, I like that. That was a good like WTF moment, like one of those oh shoot, like yeah. So
And you see, you like, so from where we are, like from where I am on One Piece, you can't consider that character Blackbeard a good guy or a bad guy. You only can associate him with what the story try to portray as a bad guy slash good guy because of the things that happen down the line. I don't want to kind of ruin that for you, but
because like, I know that like from where I'm at, the very general premise is that we've heard stories that Blackbeard has done some bad things. That supposedly he's only got a crew of 5 people, but he's done some bad things. But then when his first real interaction with Luffy, it's not so much of a he's not so much trying to harm Luffy as much as like they're almost just trying to stop Luffy, but it's not in a when Luffy and them get away, it's like, oh well, we'll get in this. So it wasn't like, oh, like the way Buggy is. Buggy wants to go after Luffy.
see, Buggy,
Yeah,
Buggy is that one character that is confused most of the time.
yeah,
Actually, he's a good guy, but he's
yeah.
confused. Blackbeard is basically Luffy, but just with a different mindset. From what I've seen, just me personally thinking, Blackbeard is just another Luffy, but Luffy with a different power and came up a different way than Luffy. You know, I don't want to drop any spoilers on here where Blackbeard's from, like who you sailed around with and stuff like that. I won't do none of that. But what I want to say is One Piece isn't trash. One Piece isn't trash. There's some trash anime out there that I feel that's trash, but I feel like they deserve it. And your general consensus on this was that One Piece was not trash, or was it trash?
No,
It's not trash.
definitely not trash.
It's not trash.
Definitely not.
So we came to you guys. We had a couple people on the live. If you're rewatching this video, we're going to be trying to set more of this up. We're working around both of our schedules to make sure we can bring you guys good quality content, things of that sort. Because if we continue, all right, hold 1 second. Okay, Smooth. I'm off to bed. Great to be here. Great show. Thank you, Jet. You left right at the right time. We just about to kind of close it out, give Jerry a chance to get some rest, man, because he literally just got off work. But we're gonna try to continuously give you guys some really good content when our schedules align. We're wanting to do more of this. Jerry, if you're willing to do more of these talks about the different animes, different topics, I'd love to have you here.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
this would just be our show that we work on. If you're cool with that.
Yeah.
So
Sounds
if
good
you
to me.
guys, what was that?
It sounds good to me.
Okay. So I just wanted to cut this short because Jerry and me will talk for 6-7 hours, and he'll literally go to work super tired. I can't have that. We enjoy the shows that we enjoy. This is just our honest opinion. If you're one of those people watching this saying One Piece is trash, you decided to watch this long video rather than watch like 3 or 4 episodes of One Piece, give it a chance. That's all I have to say to you. I'm not upset at what your choice is. I am upset with your choice of words. If you don't like something, just say you don't like it, or at least give it the 90 episodes I was talking about, the 10%. And if it's at 1,000 episodes now, give it 100 episodes. But I understand your time is valuable to you and you rather not get into it. Now, in closing, which we're never supposed to say, I just want to say my honest opinion is One Piece isn't trash. And Sociopath Batman, you have the floor.
I can definitely say it's not trash. I can definitely say if you're, going off what you said that, give it, 90 episodes, you don't even have to watch 90 episodes of them straight. Find someone who has watched One Piece, ask them, hey, give me, a list of episodes, and they, that will be, you think would grab my attention, and have, let them give you that. Because someone that's watched One Piece, who's invested the time, they're going to be the best person to really tell you, hey, these are some great ones. This is what you have to look forward to. I mean, if you start with a little bit of the beginning, a little bit of the middle, you don't go too far in. But I mean, if you watch within, that, like I said, I'm almost 200 episodes in. There are easily enough 90 episodes that you could watch somewhere in between there, and every single one of those ones are going to grab your attention. And just, I mean, if you aren't interested in that, then you just aren't interested in One Piece. And who can put blame on you if it's just not your thing? It's not your thing. But I can definitely say that I've enjoyed One Piece. It's dragged my attention and it's held it, and it definitely isn't trash.